Hi guys, it's Baldrick here, and in today's episode I'm going to be showing you how to fly helicopters in Battlefield 4. So what you want to have before you even start flying is to have unlocked the repair tool, and what that does, that repairs your chopper if it has been damaged. Another thing you might want to consider is the stinger, as if you get shot down you can get your sweet revenge on your enemy. So first off, to get in the helicopter you just press the button that it says, and for PC that is E. That lets you get into the helicopter. So first I'll show you how to look around your cockpit. What you want to do is you want to right click on your mouse, and you just turn your mouse like that, and you can look wherever you want. You can get an entire view of a cockpit, so if you want to see someone you can't really, you just do that quickly as you're flying, but you don't want to leave it there for too long. Another thing to consider is how to switch seats on a helicopter. What you have to do is you have to press F2, and that gives you the chopper gunner seat. And yeah, that's how you get to the chopper gunner. So then to get back you just press F1 again. This is mainly for PC guys, because it's a bit hard for me to show you how to do it for console, but you can still do it for console if you watch this video. And now if you want to switch camera angles you press C, and that gives you a third person's perspective of the chopper. So basically the chopper is a little bird, either on the criminal side or the, I guess, police side, and it's a very good chopper to begin with because it's very maneuverable. I wouldn't recommend starting off with a transport heli. So first things first, we're gonna learn how to go up and down, so I'll show you how to do that right now when I land my heli. Alright, there we go. So to go up and down you press the W key to go up, very simple, and you press the S key to go down. And right before you hit the ground you want to sort of just make it like that so you don't lose any health. And I hope I've mentioned that when you're practicing this, please join a empty server, as it's really annoying for people who actually want to use the chopper in a proper server that they can't use it because you're trying to learn how to fly it. So now that you've learnt how to go up and down, you just press W and S. It will move a bit, so that's why you need to correct it with your mouse, and that's how you get your accurate location. When you're landing it, I highly recommend third person view because it's a lot easier. But when you're taking off, you can easily leave it in first person mode, and it's very easy to do. So when you land it, you go in third person. And this takes me to my next bit, which is just, I guess, flying in general. So if you want to get to an area, what you do, you lift up about 20 meters, and when you're about this height, you get your mouse and push it forward, and they'll tilt your helicopter forward, and then go into first person mode, and you press W to accelerate. What that does, it just gives you a forward motion, and you can sort of leave it in this for a while. Now this is the tricky bit. When you're turning corners, just press A or D to turn left and right, and that should do most of the work for you. But if you're going at a high speed and you want to do a sharp turn like that, it's good to correct it with your mouse as well, because the mouse also can turn it left and right a bit, and if you do both at the same time it does a very sharp turn like that, whereas if you only do one at a time it does a slower turn. So get my point, you need to use both at once if you want to get the quickest and sharpest turns. So now it is on to actually, what else can I cover for this? You can sort of learn to hover. So learning to hover is probably the hardest bit in a helicopter. A lot of people cannot do this, especially in Battlefield 4 when it's important. Sometimes you might want to hover over a point and capture it. So what you need to practice to hover is, it's basically just using your mouse. And guys, you do not need a joystick to fly helicopters on Battlefield 4. I've talked to some people and they say there's no real difference and it's sort of a waste of money. But if you're an experienced chopper pilot, I'd like to know whether using a joystick helps out with just flying the helicopter. So when you're trying to hover, what you want to do, you want to do little notions of up, down, left, right, till you sort of get it straight. You don't want to be doing massive ones like that. You sort of want to keep it really simple like that. Just even though there's a bit of jittering, it's good enough to hover over a point and capture it. And I'm sure there'll be game modes like Conquest in, what's it called, Battlefield Hardline, so it's going to be a very viable technique doing that. So once again, pick a point on the map where you can learn to hover over. So say you want to learn to hover over this helipad. It's very easy. As soon as you approach, just start leaning back to slow yourself down, and eventually you'll get into a hover stage where you just really slightly correct your movements. So I know I'm not doing it the best here, but that's sort of what you want to be able to do. You want to be able to stop your helicopter. So if you're, I guess, trying to drop people off with a transport heli, it's good to know how to do that as well. Alright, now onto my next stage, which is actually sort of avoiding chopper fire. It's hard for me to show you this, but a tip for avoiding chopper fire is when you're getting locked onto, do not deploy your flares until the missile has actually been fired at you, because people use this technique where they switch weapons, and to switch weapons you just press F, or you just press F and it switches weapons for you. So you've got on your little bird, you've got your main gun that just is basically a machine gun or a cannon, and then you've got your lock-on missiles for anti-air. So what the anti-air missiles do, you basically find another chopper and try and blow them up with it. So I'll show you some gameplay on how to do that. But anyway, another thing you can learn to do is sort of hit target. So you want to just be flying around, pretend that's a guy there, and just hit it. And guys, just keep this in mind, it's not worth risking your chopper just to kill one person. So I see a lot of people just like flying all the way down and trying to kill people. That's not a viable tactic, because they can pull out a RPG and easily hit you there. So it's very, very dangerous if you do that. Now, another thing I can show you guys how to do is how to, I guess, a good tactic for repairing your chopper. So, I don't know, I might crash in my chopper a bit like that. There you go, it's not full health. I'm not sure what I did there, but I'll try and get out of this. So what you do once it's been hit like that, or you've crashed it, you want to find an area sort of outside the map that's got good cover. Start hovering your helicopter. There's no rush, because I find the vehicles in Hardline take a while to explode. You just land it wherever you want. And you get out your repair tool, and you hold it. If it's low health, you hold it till you get about 3 seconds, and you press E to get back in it before it hits 2 seconds, because you don't want to die just because you're repairing your heli. And that's a good viable tactic, because no one can really see you. The enemy chopper doesn't really know where the hell you are. And that is basically it. Now it comes on to countermeasures. I'm pretty sure I covered this, but to deploy your countermeasures, you only want to deploy your flares when someone has actually fired missiles. So to do this, you just press X, and they'll give flares that will just misguide the missiles and miss you, or hopefully, usually misses you. And then after you do this, you sort of want to hide somewhere on the map. I do not recommend hiding in areas like that, because it's very tedious to get out. But start flying around buildings like that, trying to avoid areas. And when you're in a chopper battle, I highly recommend first person. It's very hard to aim third person. You can see where you're firing, but it's a lot harder, especially like this, because you can't really see the trace of the bullets too well compared to Battlefield 4. I think that is almost about it. Now, one tip for these, I guess, transport heli, you want to be in a big squad if you're going to be using the transport heli, because that helps out your squad get to areas. So I'll show you some of the tips for flying the attack heli. This is going to be not attack heli, the transport helicopter. So this is going to be a bit of a long video. I'm sorry about this, guys, but if you really want to learn, I guess you should watch the entire thing. So once you've learned how to fly that, you'll find that this chopper is very sluggish. You can easily crash into buildings, and I wouldn't really recommend going through tight areas like this, but what I would recommend is quickly hovering over areas like this and then just going back. So you drop off all your teammates and then go backwards and turn and just get out and just sort of get to an, then you should get more people spawned in and take them over a area of high value. So you might take it to the enemy base to try and steal some of their money and blood money. So to do this, you just fly to the area. Usually you can fly pretty high and your team will know what to do. But it's good to take them to main entrances as well, like over here. And then just pull up again. That is a very viable tactic for transport helis, and that's all you're really going to be doing. And I may as well cover this, but to change seats in the transport heli, I'll land so I don't crash and embarrass myself here. But to change seats, what you have to do, you have to press F. Basically most of the Fs should change your seat to the gunner seat. So F2 changes you to that, F3 changes you to that, F4 changes you to this, where you can get people with your javelin. So if someone else is flying, a good tactic is to work with them with your javelin and help them out, because the transport heli can only do countermeasures and it doesn't really have any power. And I'm pretty sure F5 is the same, and maybe F6. F6 takes you to this area here, so no point being here because you can't really do anything, but I guess if you're dropping off people it's alright. So basically you want to try and get the pilot seat as much as you can. Alright, now I'm going to be, I guess, showing you how to take down helis with your gun. So I'll give you some tips. So I'm going to land the helicopter over here and I'm going to actually blow it up. Or hopefully blow it up with my little bird. Let's do this. So we're in our little bird. You've got infinite ammo in Battlefield Hardline Beta, so it's really good to see that you don't have to constantly reload. That is a big pain in Battlefield 4. So first thing, it's not really letting me lock on here, but first thing you want to do, you want to lock onto the person. So you want to leave it for about 1 or 2 seconds. So I'll tell you a good way to do that. You really always want to be behind the helicopter you're trying to kill. So you lock on for 1 or 2 seconds, and if they haven't deployed their flares, only shoot one of your missiles and then see what they do, then shoot your other one and it should hit them. And after that has finished, they'll be flying away trying to get away from you or trying to fight back. Now what you want to do, you want to start shooting with your machine gun. The machine gun does a lot of damage and it kills it pretty easily. It's going to take a bit longer if someone's in there because there might be a repair tooler, and that's what you really want to do. And if your helicopter is becoming very badly damaged, you just want to, I guess, eject. So a tip for ejecting, I'm going to quickly show you. Hopefully this won't destroy my heli, but you never know. So if you get shot once and you know another missile's coming, just press. It's very dangerous from helicopters, so I recommend it if you're sort of slow like that. Move away from it and press space sort of right before you hit the ground. There we go, we didn't destroy my chopper. I was pretty lucky. So it's, oops, should always look before you're going up. But so what you want to do, you sort of want to just get away from the heli as quick as possible, because I've been killed, I don't even know how many times, from being squished by my own heli while ejecting from a missile. So it's very annoying when you kill yourself like that. So it's not always your fault, sometimes you just can't avoid it, especially if you're a gunner and you eject, the other person ejects and it just hits you. So now I'm gonna sort of be giving you a guide on sort of flight paths around city maps like this. So for the Hardline Beta, you've got this nice Los Angeles map. So what you really want to be doing is a attack heli or little bird pilot. You want to just circle the city like this, and eventually you'll find people and kill them. So it's very easy. You can also mix it up by going around buildings like that, so you become a bit less predictable, and you can go over the main areas here and kill everyone. Another thing you really want to watch out for is javelin. If someone's shooting a javelin at you, it's not the best idea to fight back unless you got a really clear shot, because they're just going to pop a few missiles, and it only takes 2 missiles in the Hardline Beta to get you killed, and that's a bit overpowered, but whatever. So I think that's about it for the attack helis. So you just want to not attack heli with a little bird, you just want to sort of fly around the map picking people off. And I already showed you how to use a transport heli, so now I'll put you into some gameplay and commentate over that on actual gameplay of me flying helicopters and killing people. So thanks for watching this far. I hope you continue the rest of this video. Hi guys, I'll talk you through what I'm doing in game. So right now I am just locking onto that helicopter. I sort of left it there for a teeny bit, not as long as I said in the tutorial, but long enough till he fled, or he had already fled, I'm not really sure, but either way I got him. So it only, as you can see, it only takes 2 missiles to actually kill a chopper in this game. Me personally, I think that's a bit bullshit, but what can you do about that? Not much. So you want to use it to your advantage as much as you can and try and make the enemy flare, because after that you've got an easy kill. But if you only get one hit, it's a bit harder to get a kill like that. That's what happens a lot in Battlefield 4, or you get 2 hits when it's still sort of a heli battle. So you want to finish them off with your gun. So now as you can see, I'm using that circling tactic and I spotted a lot of cars and motorbikes. So another cool thing you can do is just chase cars and just damage them till they die. And another good thing is to have a friend as a chopper gunner. I didn't there, but I had a pretty decent chopper gunner, so he was helping me out doing some vehicle damage, and I think he got most of the damage on. But yeah, we eventually killed that guy, or I assisted killing him, and it turned out very well. And what you want to do to spot enemies, you just get your crosshair on them, or that dot in the middle of the little bird, and just press Q and quickly, and it should spot the enemy. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. Now, I know the gameplay looks easy, but trust me, when you first start flying a helicopter, it is one of the most frustrating things to do. I just spent countless hours just sort of... I haven't even perfected it yet. Just look at that mistake I made there. So it does take a lot of hours to finally perfect the chopper, but once you've done it, you never forget how to fly it, and you can hop into a game, I don't know, 3 months later and still be able to fly a heli. So it's a skill that sort of sticks with you for a while. It's like if you learn to drive a car, you'll sort of always know how to drive a car. So with this, it's always good to keep practice, for I'd recommend, I don't know, you only need 10 minutes a day should eventually make you pretty good, but I know a lot of you Battlefield players play a lot more than 10 minutes a day, so you'll eventually get good at this, guys. So do not stress about being that good of a heli pilot. It does take time, that's the main thing. So another thing you've got to realize is that people won't care, or you've got to sort of forget about people caring if you're a noob pilot. Like if you get like level 80 saying get out of a chopper pilot, you noob, just don't listen to them and try and give it a go, because once you've got the basics done, you are good to go and give it your best. So that's what it's all about, guys. Don't listen to those people who give you negative shit for being a noob pilot, because that's how they started off, and it's always a good time to start flying choppers. I know it may seem daunting at first, and you may try a couple of hours and you may still be bad at it, but just keep on pursuing. Maybe watch another video from someone else, that might help you out a bit more, but I think this video should give you enough to learn how to fly a chopper. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. See you later, have a nice day, and fly some of those choppers and kill some noobs. See ya.